What is up, everybody? How's it going? This is Matt, and it is Fiendish Friday. I am happy to see each and every one of your faces, even yours over there and yours down there. I hope you're happy to see my ugly mug because I am definitely here for another review for you guys. Hopefully you dig today's film. I really liked it a lot. It's one that I've seen a few times, and I will continue to watch over the years to come. I did a review from this label earlier this week. It was Massacre Video is the label on it, and I did Orozco the Embalmer, which was is a phenomenal documentary about a man who named Orozco that was a embalmer in I think it's a like around Cartagena, Colombia, like in one of the small villages or towns that surrounds it, so pretty crazy stuff. If you haven't seen that one, definitely check it out. I really, really enjoy that one. I thought I did a pretty good review on that one as well, I'm not going to lie. Let me get readjusted here for a second. Alright, so this one came out in 1998. IMDb has it listed as an hour and 9 minutes. On the disc, it's listed at an hour and 15 minutes. So I don't know. I guess it's an hour and 15 minutes. But when you watch the film, there's a lot of filler in there, and it doesn't really. I don't know. It ran that full time that I remember, at least for sure. The 1 hour and 9 minutes. That one definitely did. And this stars Kanako Ooba, Kikurin, Tamakichi, Anaru, and Yuuji Kitano. And this is also directed by Tamakichi Anaru. And that is none other than Nicodaruma, Psycho's The Snuff Reels, Tumbling Doll of Flesh. Yes. Whatever name you prefer to call it. I like Tumbling Doll of Flesh. I think that's a better name. I think it just pops when you say it, and then you see this artwork, and it's just so cool. This, by the way, is the Massacre Video release. Like I said, this is the alternative cover artwork. Let me cover that part up here. This is what you got here on the back. It's all in Japanese. Very cool stuff. Let me pop out the normal artwork here so that you can see what you would normally get. This is what you would normally get if you went with just the cover art that a Massacre Video originally released with it. There is their logo right there. I'm just a sucker for this old Japanese cover artwork. I think it's just so much cooler. So neat. As far as special features go, this one's got subtitles, trailers for other Massacre Video, and it's got a still gallery. Not a lot. As far as I believe the trailers, I think one of them is Women's Flesh, My Red Guts, which I almost reviewed that this week as well. I decided not to because it's so similar to this one, and I'll save Women's Flesh, My Red Guts for some other time down the road, because I didn't want to do basically the same movie twice in 1 week, if that makes sense, even though they're both so different, but they're so similar in ways. Now, what is this one about? It's about these two guys that are getting ready to make a hardcore porno in Japan, and these two directors, they have a male and a female. It's going to start out as your normal porno, and then it's going to roll into the S&M stuff, the hardcore bondage, and when you first start out, it's definitely it's typical porn. It's Japanese porn. It's got the blurred pubic region, which is always, I never really understood, for a country that is so it has so many weird taboos that like there's no real taboo in sex over there. Like you can see anything and everything there. They're so like open-minded with a lot of the stuff that they say and do with sex. It's very, very weird in that they would have that kind of censorship on that level. So, excuse me. they're making the porno. They show like little things, like they at one point they give this guy this little pack to put in his hand to when he's ejaculating, it'll make it look like there's even more than what is really there. Very interesting. I imagine that gets used a lot in a lot of porno, something of that nature, because you need a pop shot there. That's one of those things, I guess, you got to have when it comes to pornography. Got to have that pop shot, the money shot. So then the day two comes along. They move into the hardcore bondage stuff. Now the hardcore bondage it's pretty light at first. Then it really starts to get degrading to her, to the woman. It really starts getting pretty hairy and rough in those places. Like there is candle wax done, which is like, that's kind of like small when it comes to the S&M stuff. Like they get to using the candle wax, and then of course the whipping. But the guy that's whipping her is like fierce with this whip. Like, damn, dude, that looked like it hurt. Like he would do little whoosh, 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 and then he'd get to slapping it so hard and get that repetition going so hard and so fast. Oh, it just looked like it just hurt. Just hurt. And then things start to really escalate. And then it turns into a pseudo snuff film. And everything in here is all the pseudo snuff film stuff is very graphic. It if you're not a seasoned gorehound, you probably won't like it, because it does touch some levels of gore that you don't really see. There's some tongue torture in there, which is just brutal. You get to see body parts being chopped off. You get to see friggin' tongue get bit. You get to see all tongue torture. Like I said, there's tongue torture, and the tongue torture is just insane and very cringy. At one point, you see a potato peeler being used on it, and that right there was enough for me to cringe back. And I rewatched that scene immediately, because I was just like, "What the hell did I just see?" The first time I saw that. And then when you get to those clippers, they're using those big pinking shears on the tongue as well. And that just looks even more brutal. And then, like I said, they start removing body parts, and then they just keep going and going, and then until eventually, what's going to happen is the girl is going to die. And then there's a nice little how do you do with a little more twist to the story, because there really isn't a story in this film. There's not a lot as far as a plot goes. It's just four people, three guys and a girl, and they're making a porno, and it gets out of hand really fast, and within a 2-day span. Very brutal stuff. Now, that's all I want to give as far as any kind of storyline or any kind of little tidbits from the movie, just because there's really nothing much to really give away on that. It's just full on cringe fest torture. It's pseudo snuff at its finest. It definitely works very well. So I'm going to get on to the rating. The technical side, this thing, it's not ugly. It's not bad by any means. It's actually filmed really well. What they definitely capitalize with what they have, with what budget they had, and which locations that they have here. Which location, it is all in one location, which I do like that. It gives it that almost claustrophobic feel in ways. Almost makes it more visceral. You're not really breaking shots to go to other places, but for other scenes, you're keeping it all in one place only. Very, very good. I liked it. So, with all that on the technical side, I'm going to give it a 3. Middle of the road, 3 out of 5. Not terrible, not good. Nothing special. Now, entertainment side. This thing is so entertaining. It's one of my favorite pseudo snuff films that exist. I watch this probably twice a year, once or twice a year. I can't get enough of this one. It's so good. That's why it's on Fiendish Friday. It's the best movie of the week, in my opinion, next to Orozco. Both those films I could have switched them Monday or Friday with either one of them, and they would have fit perfectly because they're both so good. Oh, excuse me. Now, so back to that entertainment side. The gore is so cool. You got some new things that you didn't see at the time for as far as torture went. The acting is pretty good for what it's supposed to be. It's not supposed to be a deeply dramatic film. There's not supposed to be layers of plot development and storyline. There's not supposed to be that. So you don't have to worry about that. This is a movie that somebody with a short attention span could even watch because it's so quick to deliver what it's supposed to do. It doesn't get repetitious. It does keep a full momentum going the entire film. It doesn't have any dull spots in it, I feel, or at least I didn't notice any. Did you guys feel that this one was good or bad or dull or anything like that? Women's Flesh, My Red Guts is not the best in my opinion. That's the other one that they released with this that I'm on the fence with. I need to get a new copy of Museni because I want to check that one out. The one I have is pure crap. Alright guys, so we got a 3 and we're going to give this one a 5 on the entertainment because it is so good. So it's going to get an 8 overall. I think it earned that very, very, very. I think it deserves a number like that because it's just so good, and I can't suggest this one enough to my gore hounds. Not for everyone though, just for my gore files. Alright guys, I'm going to get the hell out of here. It's coming up on that 13-minute mark. I got stuff to do today, got stuff to do this weekend. I hope each and every one of you have a great weekend. I'll see you all on Monday. I'm not 100% sure what I'm lining up for next week. I know that I will kind of go back to my regular format to where I'll have continued Monday, Fridays are usually the two blockbusters of the week. I like to come in with a bang and go out with a bang. Terrible Tuesday will be like usually the worst film of the week. And then Wednesdays and Thursdays are just filler days in there. I like to just throw in whatever on those kinds of days. Alright guys, love your faces. Can't wait to see you next week. I'll see you, like I said, I can't wait to see you next week. And as always, peace.